Right, so I'm making this video simply because there's so much information out there and it's a bit all wishy-washy, and I kind of just want to make one video so you guys can understand what is high ticket sales, how do you get started, and pretty much we'll go from there, right? So make sure you watch throughout the entire video so you actually understand the industry, right? I know you might have a short attention span. TikTok and Instagram Reels has ruined that for this generation, but stay here because trust me, I'm going to give you some tangible things that are going to allow you to finish this video and actually start taking action towards this, which is the most important thing, right? So, high ticket sales. What is it? So let's just quickly go over. Sales has been around forever. It's the exchange of products and services in exchange for like money or something else, right? And so it has always been around and it always will be around. Now, high ticket sales, this is something that is expensive, right? High ticket basically means anything over $1,000. The industry is usually selling services for $5,000, $10,000, $15,000. I've sold things that have been $20,000, right? But they're high ticket, right? That is high ticket, something that is expensive. And this is how I've made a lot of my money in this online space, right? This is how I started my kind of big money making journey, I guess. I started with dropshipping, but didn't really enjoy it. So I basically got started with this instead of an SMMA, and it's been great. And I want to kind of share more about this industry because it's amazing, right? It's allowed me to really become the person I am today. I used to be this shy little kid, and now I'm a big grown up, whatever, that is able to handle himself well, and I feel, in my opinion at least, come across professionally, and he knows what he's doing, right? I have a clear vision, I know what I want, and that's what it's allowed me to do. So I want to provide value for you guys and impact for you guys, so that maybe it can do something similar for yourselves, okay? So that's what it is, right? High ticket sales. You're selling expensive services or products, right? And remote high ticket sales has basically come along because businesses have realized we don't really need an office, right? Online businesses as well have been booming, right? If you're watching this, I'm sure you know what an SMMA is, right? Agencies have been booming and they need salespeople because they sell high ticket services, and a lot of them don't really know how to sell. So that has kind of started this whole remote high ticket sales space. It's because businesses have realized that they can hire salespeople who can work remotely, right? Because of things like Zoom and different systems and softwares that have come about, it means everyone can work from the comfort of their own laptops, right? So it's a great opportunity if you're looking to make money online. Now, a big question I always get is, what can you sell? So you can sell info products, right? You can sell for coaches, and you can sell for agencies and consultants, right? Info products, what do I mean by that? These are usually informational products, right? Things that you'll have people like Iman Gaji, Jordan Platten, people who are basically selling information, right? Even Andrew Tate, right? The Real World. I know that's a bit of a bad buzzword these days, but that is what he sells, right? It's not high ticket, but he sells it. So that's the kind of stuff you can sell. In that sense, hope that makes sense, right? Influencers, people who are selling information. Then you have coaches. Coaches are basically selling most of the time to people, right? Coaches and consultants is very similar. Coaches work in the business to customer industry, right? So coaching is a business and they sell to customers. Consulting are their businesses as well, but they sell to businesses, right? They consult businesses. So that's the only difference. But well and truly, it's very similar. Coaching can be anything, right? I know people who are tennis coaches, fitness coaches, music coaches who are making 50 to 100K every single month, right? Mindset coaches, life coaches. Coaching is a massive, massive industry, and it is booming more than ever. Consultants, they do obviously something similar, obviously not relationship, but for example, something a business will need help with. So maybe lead generation or sales or marketing, maybe even HR, right? Things that help a business basically be more productive and end up making more money is what they focus on. And then we have agencies. Like I touched on SMMAs earlier. Agencies will provide, for example, marketing across multiple different niches, right? Marketing to solar companies, helping solar companies get out there more and get more leads so they can do more installations. They'll help, for example, coaches, right? There are many agencies now that help coaches get more leads, get more appointments, get more sales. Agencies as well, marketing agencies, right? One of the biggest offers I ever worked on was a financial marketing agency, right? It was a marketing agency that helped companies who were looking to raise capital basically get more eyeballs on them, more investors' eyeballs on them, so that they could basically produce and make more capital and raise more capital for their funding round, right? That might sound a little bit complicated. I thought it was really complicated at first. I learned quickly though. And pretty much you have, like, for example, let me think, Shark Tank, Dragon's Den, these kind of shows where people come up and ask for investment, right? It's kind of a similar thing, but rather than going up to, for example, high net worth individuals, they're going to, for example, private equity companies and venture capital companies. And these are companies that basically make money by investing into companies and seeing them grow and then exiting and making more money, right? So, yeah, bit of a finance lesson there, but that kind of covers who you can work for and what you can sell. Now, what positions are there in the industry? Well, simply you have setters and closers, right? There's no need to complicate it. It's just an appointment setter and a closer. An appointment setter's responsibility is to book meetings, right? And a closer's responsibility is to turn those meetings into customers. So the whole kind of process and the way these businesses operate most of the time is they will be running advertising on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube, wherever, right? They are basically spending money to get leads in the door, right? Then, once those leads are in the door, it's an appointment setter's responsibility to book those leads into a meeting. Closer's job is to then take that meeting and turn them into a customer for the company. That's it. Those are the only responsibilities you have as a salesperson to these companies. You don't have to manage team members unless you want to, and you can get paid more to do that. You don't have to do marketing. You don't have to source your own leads. Everything comes to you, and then what you have to do is either book the meeting or close the meeting. It's that simple. And the way you get paid is on closed meetings. So an appointment setter, which is the caveat to appointment setting, it's very simple to do, and it's a low-hanging fruit in terms of the industry because it's quite simple to get into. But appointment setting, they only usually get paid when the deal is closed, right? So as an appointment setter, you are only going to make money if the closer is doing a good job, right? There is some cases where businesses offer base pay. That does happen. But it isn't a regular occurrence, and I wouldn't expect that, but it can happen. And closers, well, the beauty of it is you are in control of what you make. You are in full control. The better you are at sales, the more likely you are to close deals. And if you're selling, things that, this is one thing I want to touch on, like the earning potential, right? My best month, I made 30K in 1 month, right? And I'm not saying that to brag, but it is incredibly simple. And the beauty of this is if you're selling a service, let's say that's 5K, 10K, or even 15K a month, and you're a closer, right? What you can do is the company is going to basically flood your calendar, right? With 5 to 8 calls a day on average. But it's up to you, right? If you want to take 4 calls a day, you can take 4 calls a day. If you want to take 10 calls a day, you can take 10 calls a day. It varies, and it can vary because the way it works is businesses spend money on marketing, right? And how they get their leads. So they spend more money, they get more leads. So that's kind of how it works, right? And if you're working for a business that is flexible, which is most of them these days, then you have the ability to do that. So we can literally break it down. If you are selling something for 10K, which I was doing regularly, I was taking 5 to 8 calls a day. For me to make 30K a month, I only need to close 30 deals a month, which is one a day, give or take, right? And it's very easy and simple to do that because the industry standard closing rate is 20%. If you're on 5 calls a day, 20% of that is 1. So it's not easy, right? I don't want to say it's easy. And these numbers may sound great and all, but the truth is it takes a lot of hard work to get to that point. It took me a while, a very long time, months, to get to that point. But I put in the work every single day. And I'm making this video to show you that it is possible and you can do it. But I'm not going to sit here and say, you can do it super easy, join my course and make $1 million gazillion bucks tomorrow, right? That's not what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to provide you with information and value so that you are prepared for it, because that's the most important thing, being prepared to achieve this, right? It's very achievable. You can do it, but it's not going to be easy. It's simple though. You learn sales very well and you work with businesses that are making the money already and have set up the businesses already. So you don't have to do it yourself. You're just plugging yourself into a business and leveraging a successful business. That is it. Because a lot of humans these days have a big ego and they want to start their own company. And I was the exact same. But the truth is you can learn a lot more by working with successful businesses. And yeah, there is nothing better than learning from people who are ahead of you in the game. That's what I'd recommend. So how do you start becoming a closer and a setter? Because, I've said these big numbers and I'm sure you're like, okay, I want to start doing this. Well, okay, cool. Let's talk some books, right? For your mindset, because it is such an important thing. Think and Grow Rich. That is a great place to start. It's not about how you get rich. It is just how to get an abundance mindset, which is just believing in yourself and knowing that things can come abundantly to you, rather than having a bunch of limiting beliefs. If you don't really know what I'm talking about when I say that, feel free to look it up. Another great book for sales is How to Win Friends and Influence People. Great book. Persuasion, Influence, both of those are by Robert Cialdini, who is like a professor or a doctor, I don't know, but he's a very smart guy and he knows a lot about human psychology. And sales is a lot about human psychology. So that is a great place to start, reading those books. Now, if you want to intake your information on YouTube, you can. There are great sources on YouTube. This channel, I would like to say, will be rolling out some good sales content. Alex Hormozy has absolutely brilliant content on YouTube. Grant Cardone is another one. Jeremy Miner is another one. Bill Walsh is another one. Right? These are people who know what they're talking about and they make a lot of content on a regular basis regarding sales. So there is a lot of stuff to watch, right? Now, in terms of learning that skill, that's great. But you can also obviously need to apply to work with people, right? So you can do that on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Upwork. Search high ticket closer, high ticket setter, and you can then start applying to work with businesses, right? It is that simple. It is that simple. But again, you are not going to send one message to one business and get a job. That's not how it works. Right? You could send a message to 100 businesses. You could get 5 interviews and you could fail every single one, right? But the truth is, it is extremely simple. You just have to learn sales and work for a business. And those are the action steps to do that. So if you want to do it, go for it. Now, if that isn't enough for you, and you want to, like I said, work from someone who is where you want to be and who is ahead of you, I've created a free training, right, regarding how to do all of this. And if you want that, just DM me on Instagram. It will be in the description or somewhere. I'm sure you guys are resourceful. You can find my Instagram, DM me, and I will happily send that over to you, right? So I hope you guys enjoyed this video covering the industry, and also how you can kind of start as well, because that's the most important thing. So yeah, guys, like I said, hope you enjoyed this video. I'd love for you guys to put in the comments some of your key takeaways from this video. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.